Hello and welcome to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. Happy New Year. This is the first show of the year, and we have with us Mike Roby, who is the Executive Director of Area Relief Ministries, also known as ARM, here in Jackson, Tennessee. They are located at 108 South Church Street in Jackson, Tennessee. Area Relief Ministries, before I bring him on, to have him introduce himself, Area Relief Ministries' mission is to strengthen our community by providing services that alleviate suffering, promote dignity, and foster hope for those in need as an expression of the ongoing ministry of Jesus Christ. So we're very thankful for Area Relief Ministries and for everyone who does so much work with them and those who work for Area Relief Ministries. And Mike, tell us just a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in Area Relief Ministries.
Well, Happy New Year, Tyrone.
Happy New Year.
Very honored to be your first guest for the year of 2019. I was working at Youth Town of Tennessee, another great organization that serves young men and women with alcohol and drug addictions, and I just was called by a few board members to consider coming on board at ARM, and I'd participated in Room in the Inn when it first started, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. And was very happy with what they were doing, and just accepted the challenge. It had a couple of financial difficulties with some funding that had disappeared for the Hub Club, and it was still running and at about $110,000 a year deficit. And so anyway, my wife and I prayed about it, and it felt like the right thing to do. Youth Town was in good shape, and I felt like my service there had been well served. So I came on with Area Relief, and brought my skill sets and my spiritual gifts and my crew. You know, I've got some great friends that I brought with me. Roger and Debbie Anderson from Woodman Life, and all my friends. You know, I brought them all on, and I brought my crew with their time and talent and treasure. And we were able to convey the Hub Club to Pastor Ronald Benton, Future Leaders of America, super great guy. He is, I can't even describe the guy to you, but he took it over, and I understand our board. That was something that we had for so long. You get possessive of things, where I came on and I'm like, I want the work to be done. It just might be done by someone else. Right. And $110,000 a year is an aortic bleed. You know, that's something you can't recover from. So we conveyed the property to them. Inglewood had given it to us originally. We were able to do it with a great grant that we had for about $100,000 a year, which had run out the year before I came. So anyway, Pastor Benton and his crew took it over. He can get money out of a turnip. And he's at the city giving them tons of money. His board is just going crazy. They bought a giant bus, like a Greyhound bus, you know, for the kids, and he's taking them trips to Atlanta, to Six Flags, and to visit 4 colleges, and you know, just great things. So it shows you, if you get out of God's way and let Him work,
He'll do it.
He will. And so that was a big thing, getting that turned around. So getting the finances turned around. Now we've got to start building on. We've gone from about a $25,000 a month loss to about $10,000, which is, you know, we need to raise $120,000 a year just to break even, on top of our $600,000 budget. A lot of our funds go to, they just come in and go right back out for emergency services, for assistance on rent, and for the Room in the Inn, of course, which is our main thing, and our open arm. Those things have no income, you know. So Jackson's a wonderful town, and we're blessed to have Room in the Inn here. And people love and support us, and we're going to continue to do it as long as God wants us to do it. We have about 36 churches now that participate, 2 businesses, and then 1 group of people that, like you and your family, just said, we want to do Room in the Inn at a church downtown. So that's where we are. I'm looking forward to this year. We've got a board meeting early in the year, maybe a planning retreat in the spring, just to regroup. You know, we've moved from one stage of crisis to let's long-term plan on what we're going to do for ARM. I don't believe in hoarding and filling our barns, but also you need to
be sustainable.
I can't work day to day.
Right.
I'm in my 50s now, and my wife and I are pretty financially secure. I couldn't live like I did in my 20s, where you can't pay. You're going to have to pay this bill this month and this one next month. I'm like, no, we're going to have all new furniture. Our guys and ladies that we serve are going to see all new things.
Right.
And we're not going to operate out of poverty.
Right. So tell us about Room in the Inn. How did that get started, and how did it come to Jackson?
Well, glad you asked. I happened to be visiting Father Charlie Strobel last week in Nashville.
Okay. I saw the video on Facebook.
Isn't that awesome? He is the sweetest guy, man. When I'm around him, he encourages me so much. He makes me think I can do anything, you know. And he started Room in the Inn in Nashville. He had 4 guys that came to his parish or his church. He's a Catholic priest. Fed them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches one night, and it was about 20 degrees outside. And he's like, I can't put those guys out, so I'm going to let them spend the night. And it's funny because he said, if I let these guys spend the night tonight, I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life.
And that was back in 1985. So, wow.
And so he did. And then he got 4 churches to participate. And ironically, same thing happened here. 11 or 12 years ago, 4 churches here agreed to do it. I believe it was...
Because we don't have a permit, we don't have a homeless shelter here.
Just the day shelter that
just
we have.
Day shelter.
Our open arm, and then there's a few of them around town too. The over there across the tracks on Main, really great people over there. It's called you remember the name of it? Anyway, really great people there. But just day shelters now, and night shelter are through churches.
Okay.
Ironically, I remember my father. We were in the Bahamas. I was on a deck talking to my dad, looking at the ocean, the clearest water you've ever seen in your life. My dad, just out of the blue, was talking about how churches need to be housing homeless people.
Wow.
And my dad was like a big businessman, big conservative.
Right.
Like, where is that coming from? And so that was just prophetic.
Yeah.
Saying, there's churches that are empty at night, and there are people sleeping on the streets. And so 20 or 30 years later, the first night I spent the night with the guys at Room in the Inn at Skyline Church of Christ, I looked across that room of men with their feet sticking out of the blanket and snoring. I'm like, my dad would be, my dad died very young at 58 years old.
Oh, okay.
So he would be very happy to see this.
Because that's what he saw. He saw it.
Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing. According to the website, it says the program is a partnership between ARM and local churches that provide shelter for homeless men from November 1st to March 31st, and that you all coordinate the program with local congregations, allowing the homeless men to sleep in the facility from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., providing dinner and a light breakfast. And then ARM provides sheets, blankets, towels, pillows, and cots. Shelter from winter elements has been provided for hundreds of men, as well as life-changing relationships. I tried to look online to find out what our homeless situation was in Tennessee, but you're working to help homeless men every day. So, what is a situation like here in Jackson?
Well, Jackson, I tell people, is a fixable problem. I grew up in Memphis. I was just discussing with you. I had a restaurant in Memphis for 15 years downtown, and the homeless situation in Memphis is terrible, and in Nashville as well. And has reached critical mass. My dad was a word my dad phrased, where it's it's beyond hope to a lot of people. It's really not, but it seems that way. Where Jackson, it is not that way at all.
Okay,
we absolutely have. I know by name probably every homeless person in Jackson.
Wow.
They're and I say that those that are their degrees of homeless.
Okay.
But when we think of a person who has no shelter for the night, who would be sleeping outside, that is who ARM really tries to reach.
Okay.
Those that with immediate going to freeze to death tonight needs.
Right.
There are approximately 500 homeless in Jackson, including young people that are couch surfing. They have no place. They don't really have a home, and they don't pay bills, and they're just from one place to the other.
Right.
And we help them as well. Nicole Ellis is our, she's a goddess to helping so many people. They come in that they're unable to pay their bills, or they've been homeless for a while. Now they're ready to find a place to stay. Some of our guys at Room in the Inn, after they're there for a while and they're loved and served and fed for a while, they're like, I'm tired of living like this.
Right.
We're like, fantastic. Why don't you let us help us find you a low income place?
Right.
You get a job with us with our Turning Point.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a contract with the city where we cut grass, and the guys make $10 to $12 an hour.
Okay.
We help them with their budget, or a lot of them have income from some are veterans, so they have $750 or $1,000 a month income.
Whoa.
So we're like, well, let's help you find a $350 or $400 place and help you with your first couple of months of these things here with an emergency service grant that we have, and get you rolling.
Right.
And we did that to about 30 to 40 people last year.
Wow.
You know, we can't do it with 1 million people, with 30 to 40 people
Right.
that are now self-sustaining.
That's awesome.
And there are others, as you well know, and I think these are the ones Jesus was talking about, the poor that will always be with you.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that are just, pitiful, just health.
Are they content to be that way, or
well, they don't.
Some people are.
Some are, yes. Some are. I always wonder about that scripture. Do you want to be healed?
Right. Yeah.
And that's it. Some are.
Mm-hmm.
Some are. That's all they've known for so long. It's ingrained in them that's as far as they can get, and we're there to just encourage them. And it's awesome seeing our guys. I try to go visit churches that are doing Room in the Inn each night. I just randomly go sometimes, and I might go to First Presbyterian and see Ty and Seal Cowles, or the Alexanders, Harbert and Nora, sitting down with our guys, just talking to them, encourage them while they're feeding them,
right.
And serving them.
Right.
And that's getting our guys knowing you can make it. You can go to the next level.
Right.
What do you need to do? Well, I need to, get this taken care of, or get my Social Security card. And okay, well, let's go do that.
Right. Right.
So our staff does that. I try to devote an hour a day to serving somebody.
Right.
It's like having 35 kids when I go upstairs. Mr. Mike, can you help me with the butt? Can you help me? Can you? I have to be careful not to go up there too often. And I love my guys; they're fantastic.
Right.
Many of them are doing great, and they go off to work. They come back from Room in the Inn at 6 a.m. At 7:30, they're off to work for the day, and they come back, from work just like anyone else.
How important is it for the community to participate in Room in the Inn? I know the churches are opening their doors, but how important is it for individual people to say, I'm going to, spend this night here helping?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've got about 36 or 37 churches, as I said, and I've beaten them down as much as I can. When I drive by a church and I see a van in the parking lot, I pull in, can you all do Room in the Inn? And I do understand them. Well, our church is aging now. It's most of our members are in their 70s, and that happens a lot. And I understand that. But it really only takes 4 or 6 people and a couple to spend the night.
Right.
So I decided, why don't we just go ahead and admit we've got 36 to 40 churches. Now let's just fortify them with the volunteers that they need.
Right.
And so that's what we've started to really focus. That's a great question. Now I have people that will call and say, what can we do? I'm like, well, tonight Northside Methodist is hosting, or Macedonia Church is hosting.
Right.
And I had a lady did that on New Year's Eve. She called, I want my kids to go to Room in the Inn tonight. Where is it? And I said, well, I told them the church.
Right.
I believe it was Northside Methodist that night. So they went, and how awesome is that for a lady to have her 14 and 13-year-old child serving on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And I'm like, your kids will remember that.
They will.
They won't remember a lot of things, but they'll remember serving homeless people, serving food, sitting down and talking with some guys that have some interesting conversations.
Right.
You want to have great conversations, sit down with some guys. God's given me a high tolerance for working with people with bipolar and schizophrenia, and some have that, and just sitting there listening to, and they're incredibly intelligent.
Right.
I must have a touch of it too, because I get it. Everything they say, I'm like, that's awesome. I understand. That's cool. But serving on with churches is what our goal is now this year, and that's when I really started putting on Facebook on our Area Relief Ministry page. If your organization doesn't have to be a church, Woodman Life came on this year. Coldwell Bankers, they called and said, we've got 6 people, we want to do it.
Wow.
I'm like, that is awesome.
Right.
And they're already scheduled. I think they're working with West Jackson Baptist.
Okay.
Macedonia Church downtown said, y'all can use our church if somebody wants to do it
awesome.
where you don't have to transport.
Right.
You just bring your people and the food. And
right.
so my wife and I and a few other people do it once a month as well.
Okay.
And the Bramblett group, they're in Henderson. They're so far away with Jacks Creek Church. Said, we want to participate. So they just come to Jackson and they host it at Mother Liberty Church right there.
That's awesome.
And isn't it wonderful whenever churches use their building, their resources, and I think it was George Bush said it, but I'm sure he quoted from someone else. It's amazing how much gets done when people don't want credit.
Right.
When they just want it done, but they don't want the credit. It's amazing how much you can get done.
Right.
And Mother Liberty's that way. They're like, we'll give you the key. Come on, anytime you want it.
That's
awesome. And First Methodist the same way.
You can go to www.areareliefministries.org to find out more information about Area Relief Ministries. You can go to Facebook and type in Area Relief Ministries in the search bar, or use the @ symbol Area Relief and type in Area Relief, and it'll show Area Relief Ministries. You can call them at 731-423-9257, or you can visit them at 108 South Church Street in Jackson, Tennessee. We've been talking about Room in the Inn, which ends on March 31st, but you said it's year-round. How does that work? I
have a new board member, Brad Franks, great guy. And he and I and several other people are trying to extend it to every night of the year.
Okay.
But currently it is, the winter session, and then about 3 to 4 nights a week during the summer.
Okay.
But if you think about it, in the summer and July and August,
it's really hot.
It is awful.
Yeah.
If I was homeless, I could make it in the cold weather. I could not make it in the heat.
Right.
And sweltering, awful. So our goal is really energize. We want our churches to be have a rest time.
Right.
Some do it once a week, like First Methodist, and some do it twice a month, and some do it once a month. If we have 36 churches, it only takes one night a month for those churches. So we're really gearing them up to let's year-round do that. But we're going to, like you said earlier, have some help for you.
Okay.
So it might be at their building, but they're going to have some people from Rotary or churches that don't participate in Room in the Inn that can come and help. So that's why we are coordinating that, and we're getting that throughout this winter months coordinated. And I was talking to you earlier about homeless. There are some, as you know, that live like in the woods.
Yes.
And I've gotten a good rapport. The tent cities. I've gotten to know them well, and we've got people that come to us and bring us items to give to them.
Okay.
Our goal is to get them to come and stay at Room in the Inn when it gets really, really cold, like 10, 15 degrees, and most of them do, but some of them, man, they just stick it out. And they work. There's a veteran living down there behind the, in the woods behind the Criminal Justice Center, Terry. Neat guy, veteran, works every day, but he just sticks it out, man. I go down his tent, is foot deep in snow, and just check on him. But most of them will come and stay with us, and some of them we have something called Turning Point, which is our long-term housing.
Okay.
It's an 8-room old-timey boarding house over there on Lexington Street.
Okay.
It was donated to us, and it's really nice. We've got a grant that covers that, and people that have been homeless over a year. In the last 3 years, we'll invite them in, and it's very low goal-oriented, but we've got counselors and curriculum and place for them to stay. It's just really nice. But a lot of the guys, just don't choose to do that.
Right.
So there's so many different ways to help, as you had asked earlier about a Room in the Inn. If you'd like to volunteer, you can call me. I'll give you the link, and it'll show you what churches are hosting for the month.
Okay.
It's a little certain link you can go to.
Okay.
And we'll call the church and tell them you've got 2 great people coming or 3 or 5 great people coming tonight.
Right.
And it's addictive when you start doing it and start realizing this is what we're called to do.
Right.
We're called to serve.
That's right.
That's why the Purpose-Driven Life sold, half
So
a
many.
billion copies
Right.
because people need a purpose.
That's right.
Over the holidays, if you're like my wife and me, when you're off work for a few days and, you just kind of have this drab feeling, it's because you're not fulfilling your purpose.
That's right.
You're the old story of the people that, the people in Hollywood that commit suicide that have everything. Well, they have everything except a purpose.
Right. Right.
They just have material things.
That's
I love material things,
Right.
and I love sharing material things, and I love encouraging people to share material things. But that in itself does not buy happiness. It's having a purpose.
And helping others.
Oh, yeah. Sweet ladies come by, Virginia Conger or a lady named Dolores. Mm-hmm. She'll call me, hey, I've got a truck full of coats. You need any? I go, well, I got plenty of coats, but I need gloves. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got gloves too, and some propane tanks, you know, and that's what they do. They get out. My mother and stepdad and dad were that same way. You know, they've found that there's great joy, as in Isaiah 58, of serving. Being the restorer of broken walls and the repair of streets and dwellings.
That's right.
When you're doing that, you've got purpose. There's joy in giving. My greatest need for this coming year is we've turned ARM around financially. You know, it was without a director for about a year, and the board was doing a great job, but, you know, it just nobody was making a direct decision. I came on to work at ARM the same day Donald Trump started office, the exact same day, and it's kind of paralleled. I'm like, I've had people, you know, calling me ugly names, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. We're going to have to pull this bandage off, and it's going to hurt and pull hair and part of the scab off. Right. But it's all, we've gotten it through wailing and gnashing of teeth and prayer and fasting and great gifts just out of the blue, and a state gift for like $80,000 at the moment when we had no money to pay bills, or a great gift from somebody, a women's Bible study that gave us $35,000 at the end of the year last year. A few board members that, you know, here. And I've learned we trust in God. We're going to do what we do every day. I tell our staff, if you need it, buy it. You know, don't, well, can we afford it? Well, get it. That's what we do for a living. We serve 3,000 beds a year, 7,000 meals, and 25,000 volunteer hours. So that's what we do every year. So let's do that, and then trust that God will provide. You know all the scripture. He's going to. He will guide your steps. He will do all of that. Stop counting on ourselves and start doing that. And I've seen so many miracles. I can share those with you another time, but of last minute, God just showed up. And I'm like, God, we need you.
He's always on time.
Tomorrow. And he's like, okay, here it is. Boom, right here. So our upcoming year is now building upon. We've streamlined everything. We've sold all the vehicles that we have that we don't use. I'm great at cleaning house. So we're as streamlined as we can be, and we need to raise about $10,000 more a month than we are currently. And I told Father Strobel, I'm like, you know, unfortunately, we don't have NFL football players in our town. You know, they've got whole floors named after the Titans, or Emmylou Harris donating guitars, or you know, Charlie Daniels puts on a concert for him, and I'm like, we've got our stars here in Jackson.
That's true.
So I want our stars to remember that it's when you're giving, give monthly. But there's some of us here that have the ability to make $10,000 and $100,000 gifts, like we do to universities or to the West Tennessee Healthcare, which is wonderful. But think of what you can do.
Investing in the life.
That's it, man. I'm serious. My wife and I, we tithe at our church. Every spare penny we have goes, and it's fun. I love going with it, setting out for the day, saying these people are going to be helped. And
that's right.
It's wonderful. And I encourage anyone to call me if they need any help doing that, with an estate plan or a piece of property or a IRA that's already matured, or just a big old fat gift. But everybody can help. If everybody would in Jackson, you know, $25, $10, $15, $100 a month, I wouldn't have to go to Jim Ayers and, you know what I mean? We don't have to. We can all do it. That's what St. Jude does. Their average gift is $25, and they raise hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. I wish we could.
Thank you for having me, man. Dude, I'll come back anytime.
All right. Well, everybody, Area Relief Ministries is located at 108 South Church Street in Jackson, Tennessee. You can go to areareliefministries.org to find out more information on what their current needs are, how you can give, how you can volunteer, to find out more about Room in the Inn and all the other programs that ARM provides. You can go on Facebook and look up Area Relief Ministries, and you'll be directed to their page. And since we have a little time left, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you what their current needs are from their website. It says AA and AAA batteries, antacids, and pain relievers, backpacks, books and magazines, bottled water, boxers and boxer briefs, new adult sizes, chapstick and lotion, deodorant, flip-flops, rubber, new men's sizes, large and extra large, foot powder, travel size, gift cards to Popeyes, Burger King, Subway, gift cards like that, gloves, new adult sizes, hand warmers, new adult size hats, hooded sweatshirts, new adult sizes large to 3X, new men's socks, playing cards, puzzle books, razors, sunscreen, thermal underwear, which need to be new in sizes, adult sizes large to 3XL, toiletries and t-shirts, also new, adult size large to 3XL. So just go to www.areareliefministries.org if you didn't catch all of those things that they currently need at Area Relief Ministries. Except you can go to www.areareliefministries.org/join-us/current-needs. Or you can just go to areareliefministries.org and type and click on Join Us. Click on Join Us and then click on Current Needs. You can also be a sponsor. This is a nonprofit organization, so from time to time throughout the year, they have special events to fundraise. And some of their, they have three major events throughout the year, and those are the Salt and Light Dinner, the Arm 5K, a color run, and a Hub City Classic. You can be a sponsor. They have a $10,000 Diamonds partner, a $5,000 Platinum partner, and a $2,500 Gold partner. So you can do those also throughout the year. When those events come up, you can check that out, and you can always go to their website. You can also shop at Amazon Smile. That's one word, Amazon Smile. And Amazon will make a donation to Area Relief Ministries. You can find the link to that by clicking, going to areareliefministries.org. If you click on Get Started, it'll be smile.amazon.com. And if you click on the link on Area Relief Ministries website, it'll take you directly to the page so that your shopping will support Area Relief Ministries. So there are many ways that we can help Area Relief Ministries as they battle homelessness and help the homeless men in this area. And don't forget, this is a new year. We all have a purpose. We all need to be helping one another, being there for one another, letting one another know that we care about one another. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Baskerville Funeral Home, R&R Custom Wheels and Tires Express, and Helping Hands of Tennessee. And thank you all so much for joining us again for a new year. This is 2019. We get to start a new year. We need to make sure we focus on our goals, focus on our purpose, and work towards those dreams and those purposes that we have. Don't let anyone stop you. Also be on the lookout for Tyrone Tony Reed Jr.com, my brand new website that you'll find information from just my daily musings and books that I'm reading, comic book series that I'm looking forward to, movies that I'm looking forward to, books that I'm currently writing, books that are already out. You can purchase them directly from my website. So just check that out. We'll be talking about anything that you like to talk about. You'll also find shows that you might have missed of Hub City Now. So make sure to check out TyroneTonyReedJr.com. It will be launching soon before the end of the month. I will let you know more on a later show when it is up and ready. And let me know what you think about that. You can also find us up on find Hub City Now on Facebook. So you all have a wonderful and blessed week. Take care of one another. Enjoy this year. Don't miss out on your blessings. And take care of one another. Love one another. And have a great week. God bless.